Please take what resonates and leave what does not. I'll be looking at your overall energies and what's surrounding you. Current situation and the heart of the matter. This is for all signs. Current situation and heart of the matter. Challenge, obstacles currently faced. Challenges, obstacles currently faced. Obstacles, challenges currently faced. Well. Okay. This isn't nice, I'm picking up, okay? We've got, I mean, it says Queen of Swords, but it can be a queen, a man as well. Seven of Cups. These people and what they do is not good. These people are, I'll put it lightly, they kill and they steal. Okay? They will come across like they're nice, entice a woman, but they will use a woman as well to do it. Okay, first of all, confirmation. And then they will sacrifice with the knife, okay? To steal, okay? But they cast illusions, they've done this before. These are serpents. This is the serpent, okay? These people are serpents. They disregard women, like they prostitute women, basically. Past events or influences that have shaped the present situation. They will block people's path, act like they don't know what's going on. They wait to get... Yeah, they will wait to find direction to reply. Okay. Could have been someone, either in the past, present, or future. So this is a past event. So this could have been an air sign, okay, that is involved in this. So in the past, they were kind of like at a crossroads. Waiting to find direction to apply. So you may have come across a person like this on your path sometime, okay? This is someone that's very jealous of you. This is someone that they cast illusions. Okay, that's 3 swords. So the energies this person would work with, to sacrifice someone, they would, it would be a frenzy basically with the weapon. These people are sick. So there could have been like a blonde woman. This person could have had her hair just over the shoulders. See, they use women or girls to entice other women or girls, okay? But they'll protect themselves. These people are emotionless. Well, I'm only 3 cards in, so you can't really ask that. These women work with another group, but the group they work with are men. Yeah. Recent past. There you go. They work with men. Okay, that's a group of men. With the wands. So they had this plan of, okay, well, you try to entice her in, get some information or much information as you can, Don't raise any suspicion. That's what this one says to this one. And that's why this one was waiting for direction to apply. She informed this one protect yourself as I said, this one was very emotionless because they all, including these two and this group, cast illusions to steal. They're witches and warlocks, okay? Then they contact the guys. So they do this to women. So they travel wherever from, could be a different country, okay? But then they contact these disgusting men, okay? The likes of RAPE, beat women up, KILL them, okay? As a sacrifice. Told you, kill, steal, and deceive. They're witches and warlocks. And there's the wands. So they inform the group. So there could have been two separate women, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, but I'm still seeing you may have travelled divine feminine and you may have come across this person's path, but it wasn't no coincidence. But the Eight of Wands is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. these could have been, you know, someone in your family, it could be someone in the group, you know, it could be that these men have no respect for women. And there could have been someone in authority that was corrupt that was involved in this, with this group. You know, this could be a next door neighbour, one of them. It could be, you know, wherever you travel to, they then travelled there, or that they got some information. Someone along the line gave him information. But in regards to the foundation, past events or influences that have shaped the present situation, it was to do with the air sign. But she tried to act like she didn't know what was going on and acting like, well, it's not me, I don't know. No, I don't know this. Because she was trying to guard herself. But she knew at that stage that she was stuck at a crossroads. Okay? So both her paths are blocked. So the current situation and the heart of the matter is this individual here. This is someone that has some type of, and she's Queen of Swords, this is someone that had some type of position, okay? She could have travelled from overseas, okay? Because this looks like from, you know, overseas. But yeah, this person here, they just acted like they didn't know what was going on, like they tried to blindside, okay? They lied. This could have been an investigator, right? Because I'm taking this card, you can take it in different situations. So there could have been someone. This could be someone that has questioned this individual. See? And then questioned her again. Because the first time she spoke to her, she lied because she casted illusions. because she's a witch. And then when they either re-questioned her or got more truth, because the sword is straight, and both these swords are off, they're not straight. She was working with a fire sign. They could have then started getting you, Divine Feminine, investigated by the Queen of Swords. Because this one was protecting herself, guarding herself. But all along, she was behind it. The witch. She has a friend that is a water sign. Could have been a drinker. This one may have not been seen clearly with this about this witch friend, okay? But then she may have guarded herself from this witchy friend, okay? Because some truth come out. But she wasn't seen clearly at first. She then was like stuck at a crossroads, like didn't know which way to turn. Because then investigators start getting involved. So this air sign here, all sorts, don't even have to be an air sign, but swords represent the thinking. She was stuck because she was like, how do I protect myself from these lies that I've told the investigator? She may have snitched on this witchy friend. She may have started guarding herself from the witchy friends. Like she didn't want to see her no more. She wasn't interested. There was some type of, she may have been working in some type of club. I'm seeing a tall guy with dark hair. But in this club, it's like, you know, they're prostitutes basically. This water sign, she's a witch. She casts illusions and steal. And the snake that she was working with was the fire sign. She's got like the spirit of jealousy in her. She'd also do this to the ones that she feels would be naive or wouldn't know or ain't got a clue. These two may have been friends, I'm picking up. But her friends, this one, her friends, but her friends, this one, may have had a drinking problem. She's nasty. She's horrible. Horrible person, I'm picking up. Horrible. She may even lie and say she's got an ill, oh, I'm bipolar, I'm not well. But she uses some type, she could be claiming for something as well that she shouldn't be getting it for. Because she casts illusions, she's just a liar. She's a spellcaster. So I'm really taking my time with this. I just don't want to rush. Not only this, she is a prostitute and she slept with many men. Okay, these are all. This is taking rapid action, travelling. Okay, one of them could have been a fire sign, but these are different people that she's casted an illusion over, slept with, to steal. She may have recently travelled somewhere else because this is travel. taking swift action, sudden movement towards goals. So she may have contacted the fire sign, and both of them like was in cahoots with each other. These two may think that you can't see divine feminine. You know, you may be just walking and going about your daily business, and then all of a sudden this fire sign would cross your path, and between them both they would concoct a story. They both concoct a story to cast, you know. Oh, let me just charge my phone. Sorry. Between them both they would concoct a story. Then he may pass, you know, you just going about your business. Then this energy would cross your path. Then he may say something like, well, where she's told him like, oh, say your path's blocked, or you know, like you can't go down that way, you can't go down that way. So that means that you're like homeless, okay? So she won't see through this. Because they've both, you know, come up with this plan together to steal. Because they're trying to cast an illusion. But if you're not awake, someone's not awake, they wouldn't know this. Then he would come off with, oh, she's got bipolar, she's not well. You know, could be like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, 12, 11, whatever. Oh, she's thrown me out. I've lost my job. And then Queen of Swords, you may have said, well, why don't you leave her? Well, I'm in a position where I'm stuck at a crossroads. But it's an illusion. So just forget the blonde hair for a minute, okay? Just don't even worry about that person, all right? Again, you could be any colour. These are just cards. But the fact of the matter is, you may have stopped and spoke to this fire sign. Don't know them. But you already knew the truth with the sword straight. You already knew. So they weren't casting you an illusion at all, divine feminine. But with the Queen of Swords, you're like, you'll give a person a chance to speak. But how are you giving that person a chance to speak? It's like you're a spiritual investigator, yeah? So you may not be, you may be someone that you'll only, when you feel a situation, when your intuition kicks in, it right, and you feel a situation ain't right. Anyway, with this situation, they took rapid action, okay, to cross your path. So then you may have spoke to this person, wear your hands out, okay? So you spoke to them, but you already knew the truth. Even before this person opened their mouth. Interruptions. See, this is what happens when you start getting to the heart of the matter. You start getting interruptions. And it could be anything, you know, it could be someone knocking your door, it could be your buzzer going or the phone ringing. Confirmation. So she's behind it thinking that, you know, and then you could have been speaking to, you know, could have been anywhere. You could have met the person at the shop, you could have been, I don't know, walking down from somewhere, you know, whatever. And then you may have, you know, oh, so where do you come from then? Like after you started giving the sob story. Oh, I've lost my job, or she's thrown me out, and I've got my 2 dogs. Okay. And then, as you're, you know, because you already know the truth, as you're speaking there, here she comes. You can get your stuff and you can get out. Yeah? And you're thinking to yourself, Queen of Swords, what? Do they actually think I'm about to say to this man, well, all right, okay, well, you can stay at mine for the night. Because that plan wasn't about to happen. But they fell right into your bait trap. Because you already knew the truth. So this witch and the warlock, yeah, thought that you couldn't see. You weren't in your emotions like, oh, well, I feel sorry for you. Because the cups represent playing on people's emotions. You weren't in your emotions at all. You were very much guarded. Again, with the blindfold, yeah. Acting like you couldn't see. But you guarded yourself. But you already knew the truth. And you may have said to him, because you already know the truth, oh, do you know about practitioners? As you're looking him up and down. And then he's trying to play dumb. What is this word? What is this word? What? Yeah? And in your head you're thinking, boy, this one's really playing dumb with me. So you've made it a bit more clearer, yeah? As they want to play stupid. You know, someone like someone that does magic, yeah? And his eyes may have opened a bit, like, yeah? And then where he's come out of that little talk about, oh, she's thrown me out and I've got nowhere to live, and I used to, I don't know, be a cook or a chef, or I had a good job. All right. You were guided. See, there's your guide. You were guided. For some reason, you were guided. I don't know, to move at that particular time, to walk where you was meant to walk. You were guided. But this water sign, she thought she could cast you an illusion. You see? You see the clouds are down there, not up here. Yeah? So you knew the truth even before they approached you. I mean, she may have moved at a particular place prior to him coming, or she may have contacted him and he travelled there. Okay? But this is what these two do. They work together. And then you may have said to him, like, he may have tried to use the excuse, oh, she's bipolar, you know, this is why I feel a bit bad for her. And you're thinking, bipolar? No, my friend, she's more than that. Hmm? But you're like, carry on anyway. But you didn't say that to him, yeah? That's what you're thinking. You're like, oh, right, okay. So there he is, a fire sign, trying to cast, you know, the illusions. So yeah, as you're talking to him and you're getting the information out of him. So where did you come from then? Like what area? Like you already know what area they come from. Oh, blah blah blah. Oh, right. Then he may have tried another trick. Oh, where I lived before, I had another guy try to attack me that she was friends with. And I, oh, right. So whilst you're talking to this person for a hot minute, she's come out, gone down the stairs. 5 minutes later, come up the stairs, go back in, come back out. You can get your stuff and get out. Yeah? So they're both, you know. Or she got involved with this fire sign and casted him an illusion. And now he's wrapped up with the witch. Usually in the ride away, this person's got a snake wrapped round them. And the snake is this person, right? Snakes are green. Or she is the serpent, okay? And with snakes, to kill him, you've got to cut the head off a snake. Because they won't stop. Someone here tries to block someone's path. Could have mean that Queen of Swords, you know, at one stage you came across this person's path. This could be another situation. This could be another fire sign, okay? Or it could be the same one and maybe they've changed. You don't recognise them the same. And maybe you come across this person's path. Or he plays too many games and you cut this person off. You're like, no, we're not about to play these games. So you may have cut that person off and then they may have travelled somewhere else, and then the next thing they met another air sign, and he may have casted illusions about you to her. And it's like the more he started speaking about you, the more jealous she got. Or she may have said to him in a vindictive, she may have said it really, okay. Oh, well, she sounds like I don't know, she's very, I wouldn't say straight off the get-go, she'd be like, that bitch, right? But I'd be like, I think she'd be like, where does she live then? So she started getting information out of him. Oh, when she found out about you, who you was, what you stand for, was she jealous? She's like, yeah, I'm going to block your path. I'm going to make sure you don't get this man back. You know, she could have had a friend that was corrupt. That was also a witch. Again, acting like she was the friend of another. Oh, would you like to go out for a meal? Because these are the type of manipulation tactics they use. You know, you may have gone to somewhere where you live, went for something to eat. It could have been summertime, a nice day. She would go to the co-op or the shop and we can get some sandwiches or we can buy some bits and pieces, then we can go to the park. Yeah? By the way, behind all of this was this plan. This one may have even had a wire on her. You may have seen her do something to her back. I think she may have had a wire on her And she had this Queen of Swords that was an investigator that was saying, all right, hey, you may have seen her twiddling with something in the back. So you knew then, you were like, oh right, she's wired up, yeah? Confirmation. So she may have even have tried to sneakily, you know, just in a conversation, ask you certain questions or say certain things, but you were like, that's strange, that's weird. And not only that, it was her movements as well. Like, you're very streetwise, nothing don't pass your eyes. These two thought you were stupid, yeah? Just like the new two, the other one over here. It's like everywhere you keep moving, you keep, you know, you keep overcoming, seeing their game plan. Yeah. It's like as you're going on your path, you know there's going to be people that's going to cross your path that's going to be wearing masks. I'm not saying that you're going to be, you know, blocking everyone out. Like you're never going to trust no one. I'm not saying that. Can you hear the banging? So as I'm saying, can you hear it? Right. So as you're going on your path, then what they're going to do is they're going to get other people to cross your path. Could be someone else you never met in your life, but they're all working together. But you too will be guarded, or you are guarded now, or you're guarded. Or I mean, you won't just like how you was before. Oh hi, come in, yeah, let's go to the shop and buy a sandwich and, you know, go and sit in the park or come over to mine. No, no, no. You're guarded towards people like that. You're not so over friendly like that, okay? But yeah, I mean, as you're going along your path, I'm not saying that you're not going to speak to people, because you're not going to be a hermit for the rest of your life. But you will give people, you know, the chance. Like if you feel if something don't feel right, or your intuition kicks in. Or if you get a bad feeling, or you know, again, you might speak to people on your path and, oh hi, blah 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 blah. So you know, and then you'll see like, oh yeah, yeah, they're wearing a mask. They're not to be trusted. Then you'll guard yourself, and then you'll be like, don't want to see that individual again. Yeah. So you're not stupid. The moon, illusions, lies, secrets. You know, these people have done this many times. But right now they're feeling real uneasy. They represent darkness. The magic they've done, they're calling on these entities. There could have been another water sign that, you know, you knew from this person could have been wearing a mask in front of you. Oh, well, me and my son are travelling. Oh, that's nice. Have a nice flight. Enjoy yourself. But she's a witch too, and you've worked that out. But she's trying to get in the water to cleanse herself of this entity, yeah? Where she travelled to. But really, she would act like, oh, I'm just going abroad with my son and my friends, yeah? But it's an illusion. So again, even with this could have been someone that you knew for many years. And you may have seen pictures of her in the water like this. Because she was trying to get rid of this attachment, you see, because she's a witch. Her and her other friends. And she may have tried to blame something on the other friends. This can represent messages. So she may have said, because she's wearing a mask, no, it was her that sent your messages. Yeah. It was her that was sending the messages. So trying to put the blame on the other one. Yeah, the water sign witch. She slept with a lot of men because she's a Jezebel. Again, you were guided. You've cut her off now with the Queen of Swords. You've cut her off now because, again, with all these energies that cross your path, you give them a chance. You let them speak what they want to speak. When you already know the information, and because she may know that you're intuitive or, you know. So she tried to pass the blame on to the other friend, and you may not have even have asked her a question, and she'd come out with, no, it was so and so that sent them messages, and you were like, okay, well, I didn't even ask you that. So that was something else that gave the game away. And then she's like, well, I've booked a flight and I'll be gone for a week or two. And you're like, all right, enjoy, have a great time. Yeah. But really behind that, you're like, yeah, we all know why you're going out there. So she's taken the flight, and then you see photos of her in the water. Yeah. You're like, oh, you really try, and then you're watching, yeah. You're looking, and you're like, oh, you're trying to get You're trying to get the attachment off your love. The demon, because that's how you see her. You don't see her like this, like a normal person. You now see this person like this. Right? The mask slips. So when she was showing you photos of her in the water, that's how you saw her. And you see, these type of non-entity things, I would say, in human form. Some of them, growing up, they may have a really good shape or a nice height, or they're very knowledgeable, but they've got this knowledge from when they were young so that they can manipulate others. This is someone here that may have studied psychology and many other things, okay? Because they learn so that they can manipulate humans, especially when it comes to men, because she's a Jezebel. And she'll sleep as many men as she can. Some of these men may even fall in love with this Jezebel, not knowing that she's that. Then she do her spell work over these men and cast them illusions. And it's just a repeated cycle. And she's done this with many men. Many men. Because she's a witch. I mean, she may have even have tried to test you, Divine Feminine. She may have even got out, just to save your reader, got out her deck. So what does that mean then? And what does that mean? And what does that mean? And you're just like, yeah, that means that, and that means that, and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, in your mind, you're thinking, what are you trying to test me for, demon? Yeah? Because that's what she is. I mean, just look at the hands. Do you know what these two do as well? They go to orgies, they're part of a cult. You know, like when they're all wearing masks and they're sacrificing. Like, these people are sick. They're evil. Yeah, they call on some type of entity. Yeah, they're a cult. And at these sacrifices, or, you know, there'll be drinking there, there'll be drugs. okay? Then they'll have like a long table. Then they'll travel, could be somewhere like where no one goes, where it's, you know, the desert. Do you understand? Then they've got their robes on. Then whatever, how they do it, whether they all in a circle, or there's something about trees and woods as well. They do it in the woods, or they go to a deep, secluded, wooded area. Or they'll call on this water deity. And then they lay you on this, it's like a table. So you lays on the table like that, yeah? That's the table. And then the ones with the masks come along with the knife, yeah? And then they drink the blood, and they're made to, like a frenzy. These people are sick. They entice children, they do it to children. But then they'll have someone in the family. I mean, they may even act, oh, that's my sister, or, you know. And then this sister will be someone that actually works overseas. And you may have said to that water sign, oh, so what job does your sister have then? And she's like, you know, like when you let people in the country, border or something like that, okay? Something to do with that. And then when she told you that, you was like, yeah. Something to do with people coming in the country, from one country to the other. Okay? So all of them are working together. So the water sign will then blame the other friend. Oh, it's her that left the messages, and she's just like giving you information as you're going along. And then the next thing you know, she's flying out to a hot country, Spain, Italy, whatever it is, okay? Or a friend or a sister or someone that works in this group, she's hiding. She would catfish. Right, or catfish her, offer her a fishy offering. Yeah, tries to get her over here. Right. And then she was like, oh, you'll have to travel with me one day. Yeah, like, you know, the flights and, you know, the rooms are really cheap. And you were like, F, would I ever fly out with you? Because I already know what your plan is. Yeah, you ain't about to take me over there to sacrifice me. No thanks. Because her plan was to steal off you too. That's what they do. And then maybe your body parts would have, you know, ended up floating down the river or getting washed up somewhere. These people are sick. Queen of Swords, you knew the truth. Or there could be an investigation into this whole cult thing now. Okay, because there's young children, because they use young children. Right? And this water sign was someone that you knew from you were young. And you may have noticed over the years, well, I don't really see her with a lot of women around her. Maybe with the other black girl that she was friends with, that she said, oh, that's the godmother of my son. So this could be her son, to say. And she's like, oh, that's the godmother to my son. Okay. But they're both in cahoots. Then she may have said to you something about, oh, come round for Christmas. Oh, my friend that I used to work in a shop with is going to be there. And my other Somali friend's going to be there. And when you heard that, you was like, okay, yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Earth angel. You were like, definitely not. So you're an earth angel. You're not stupid. You're like, definitely not. Again, you're very much woke. If you'd gone over this is what they would have done. I'm telling you, like with the knives, like people are sick. Yeah, they're demons. Well, they would have done some type of chanting or called on some deity. And you would have been tied to this block or long thing, whatever it is. Then here would have come the warlock. Once they got you in that position. And, yeah. M'd you. But now they're going through severe judgment. And again, with this particular water sign that you knew from way back, over the years you've noticed, I've never really seen you with many women. It's always men, men, men. So the last time you may have gone to see her, oh, I'm just going to go and see my friend, blah, 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 okay? So you're sitting there and you're they're acting like you don't know. You're acting to them like you ain't got a clue. And then she's on their phone with that smirk of hers, yeah? Because she's got a particular smirk. Like I've got one over you. Like that type of smirk, yeah? It's not even like that, it's like she's just smug, yeah? It's not about that smug look, right? And then she's with this black guy. So she takes you to the black guy, yeah? You go down from that path, yeah? And then you're watching her, Queen of Swords. And she's there on their phone, contacting the ones overseas. When you reached at this black guy's house, there could have been a couple of other boys there, not boys, but, and he said that, I wouldn't say boys, I'd say like in their 20s or maybe 30s. And he said, oh, these are my two sons. Okay? And you're like, okay. Then her son disappears in the kitchen with him. And there's this whispering. Do you want a cup of tea? You're like, yeah, thanks. But you're not stupid when it comes to, you know. what could have been put in the tea. There was nothing to knock you out, but to cast you an illusion. So it wasn't that you were stupid, it was just that you were just seeing the movements, okay? Which you already knew. You already knew. And he's watching her, her son, this man, her on the phone, in communication with the others overseas where she travels to, where the so-called sister works. Okay? So she thought she had this in the bag. She's there on their phone, contacting them. Or she may have been on the phone prior to saying, oh, will you come to me with my friends? So these guys then travelled there. Okay? And her black friends, yeah, could have been along, he had a ruster, yeah. He's got a metal gate at the front of his front door, like a protection. He may have turned up there and there's music playing. Yeah? They're like, all right, okay. Then he was like, would you like a drink? You're like, no, I don't drink, thanks. I'll have a cup of tea though, yeah? So, you know, two guys that were there, two black guys that were there. Oh, these are my sons. And they're all talking amongst themselves, like she's having a conversation with them. Like, you know, she don't know them that well. And you're sitting there like, really? Then they've got up and they've gone, all right, well, see you later, bye. Bye, Dad. And you're like, boy, you're just sitting there like, yeah. And then she was like, oh, he's been my friends. And then he's sitting there saying, oh, me and her have been friends for years. Oh, yeah, we met here and we met there. You know, we just clicked and we've been friends. And you're like, no, you're lovers. Like, don't try to pull one over on me, all right, about your friends. And then she's got up. She stood by him because he's swinging on a recliner like a gaming chair. So she stands behind him. And because she couldn't help herself, the demon showed for just a split second. And you may have seen, like, the real character come out. You know, like when someone's standing and they kick out, yeah? And it's something you saw just for a split second. You were sitting, yeah, watching her. So she got up, stood by him. Then this anger started coming out of her. The demon started coming out of her. Yeah, the attachment. And you're sitting there and you're like, wow, really? And you just saw like that for a hot minute. It's not funny, yeah? I know I'm laughing, but it's not funny. But you're taking this information in and you're like, so you're trying to wear a mask, yeah? But you really couldn't help yourself. The mask slipped for a minute. And you notice confirmation. And the reason why she got angry, that split second that you saw, is because she knew that her mask was slipping, like you could see through her and her illusions. This individual, since you've deleted her number or blocked her, she hasn't contacted you. Now, why is that? Because it's a guilty conscience. She's guilty. Because otherwise people would call you, all right, girl, what's happening? But I ain't heard from you. You all right? How's it going? Like, blah, blah, you know. That's what a normal person would do. But because she knows that you know the truth, she's guarded now. Because you see through her mask and you know the truth about her. And because she's stuck, and their little plan was to keep you stuck, thinking you couldn't see. She wanted you stuck at a crossroads, and you're like, that ain't happening. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. After I get the information, I'm cutting you off. And that's what you done. You deleted her number. No more contact. You haven't been to this person's home since. And you're sitting back and you're like, okay. 1 week's gone past. And this was someone that was in regular contact with you. You know. 2 weeks has gone past. 3 weeks has gone past. And like, and all, that's even more clarification for you. All right? You weren't like watching the phone. You was just getting on with what you had to get on with in your life. But there's no contact. No, oh, I hope you're all right. And, you know, how's it going? Nothing. She'll tell you why, because she knew that you started picking up on her lies and that you could see through the mask. And again, when she stopped contact, it's because she was guilty. So whoever else she's in contact with, they're all in contact with each other. Well, the Queen of Swords has got her boundaries up. So they're all looking at you like this. Yeah, this is Spain. So these are people over in Spain. So she's mad and because you've got your boundaries up, because you know the truth. And do you know what type of energies these group use? They will use women that have got lovely shapes, you know, that will wear literally tight clothes, with the midriff showing. Yeah? Where the men are so tempted by them. Divine Feminine, you could have been living in, let's just say, a place called Croydon, and then, you know, she was in cahoots with, you heard her having a conversation with the Albanian man, and he's the one who said, oh, you're not dead yet. So you connected all the dots, connecting to them too. And then you heard her saying, oh, you'll have to get someone else to do it. So that means that you could have been in the room like above and was listening, and you heard her saying, you're going to have to get someone else to do it, okay? She was walking up the stairs really slowly, and he was behind her, and she's like, you have to walk so close. And you're like, well, if you weren't walking so slowly, and there was some type of threat she made or something like that, and you weren't frightened, yeah? You didn't know this one from Adam's. Yeah, you're lucky I don't fight you, you know, just right attitude. And you're like, well, I'll just let you, cool, calm and collective. You're like, well, you put hands on me and I'll put hands back on you. I'll just let you know that, okay? And then She may have been like in her late 20s or 30s, and you're like, you may have said to her, I'm not your age, you know, I'm like a 50-year-old woman, or I've got grown children myself, whatever. Okay. But yeah, their plan from back there was this. And this is where you saw the ceiling had been tampered with. You know, like when you've got square things on the ceilings and you can push it up and move them. And then you saw the blue glove. So all these are connected. Because this water sign that travels to Spain, the one in the house that you moved to, you heard her speaking Spanish or Mexican or whatever it was. You heard her. I mean, along your path, you were guarded, but you were acting like you couldn't see. I mean, you was playing dumb with all these people around you. All right? Yeah, you may have been in dangerous situations, but you had to get the information you needed. And that also includes the energies that they were paid, you know, behind the scenes. It could be another fire sign where you lived at a particular place, and you know, he likes to drink. And, all right, says, all right, you want to come over for a drink? Yeah, yeah. So you know, yeah, you clocked all these people. Even the ones that you know, you go back from when you're 16, 17. Their mum's a witch. Or they would connect them. Her mum, this water sign's mum, was connected to another witch. Earth sign. Earth angel. Oh yeah, earth sign. Wow, that come out. So there was an earth sign involved as well. Someone in your family, or someone that was part of this group. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, or it could be all three, because that just come out. So you're trying to bring balance back to humanity and wake everyone's eyes up in regards to the energies around you, and that includes people that you've known. Like if you're a man in your 40s or 50s, this includes people that you've known way back. That all along, these people have all been in cahoots, with each other. Okay? Especially from the area that you come from. And then, you know, you go to another area and they think, well, they're never going to know because she's never seen this face or he's never seen this face. Six of Cups, someone from your past may want to return. You're not returning to these people. No way. You're like, I know what you're part of, the cult, and I know what you do. Why am I going to return to you? There could be someone here out of the group that's rushing towards this water sign, look, because you're boldly communicating. So this could be the other Gemini, Libra, Aquarius masculine that's rushing back to her now. Rushing back to her. Quick, quick, quick. Try to reach out, look. Okay, so this is, yeah, a King of Swords I'm picking up. The one that's cold. So he's going to rush to her now, her house. Or may communicate on the phone. Right? He's definitely going to communicate with her. Maybe whilst doing this reading, or maybe now. Yeah, they're definitely going to be communicating right now. Okay, there's going to be some type of communication. There they go, look, they're getting mad, the door slamming. or someone's gone to the water sign, whether it's, you know, in whatever house, the house you live in. Quick, quick, she's communicating, quick. We need to try to cast an illusion around her. We need to confuse her, because that's what they do. Yeah? So then you'll start hearing doors slamming. Bang, bang. Because they want to try to block you from getting the message out. Right? So we've got one communicating with the water sign. Quick, quick, quick in the house. Quick, quick, quick. Yeah? Start slamming, quick. Make sure it's a real loud. Keep doing it a good few times. Yeah? Because these are these, they're from the underworld. These people, they're not human, I'm telling you. Okay? They're evil. And they're trying to block you from getting the message out. But I'm hearing one of them is someone here is going to pass away. Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, they target children, women that are single, mothers, okay? All right? It's just the whole system that does it. They have people in authority, okay? Well, we've heard you're on drugs, or they'll give you a false drug test or whatever, or they'll go to that woman and, okay? Or it could be a family of them that's all involved, okay? Yeah. The ones overseas as well. I mean, this could be an investigator that's speaking to them. This is how they've made their wealth. But trust me, that someone here's got 2 dogs as well, which is the fire sign. See? There's a fire sign in these 2 dogs. See? That one looks like a bull mastiff. And there's the water sign. Yeah. And you call judgment on them. There may have been some incident. Maybe they had to sacrifice one of their own. I don't know. There could have been a death. All right? Could have been a death. Equal give and take in a partnership. Okay? Divine Feminine, you're not dealing with none of these, you know, fake friends, fake lovers, fake family members. You're not dealing with them. That's why I said Earth sign, because Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, Pentacles represent that. Okay? So your family could be getting questioned right now because they're also part of this. The lovers, yeah. So we have the fire sign with the lover, okay, which is the witch, the water sign. Some of you, maybe this fire sign may have crossed your path, and you may not have even have recognised the person because they just look so different. Or some of you, you know, these people just don't look the same, but you see the change in them. She tried to make out to the fire sign like you were the witch, or you were the snake, the serpent. You're like, no, no way. So now he's involved with this cult. He's bound to it. He may have even got married to her. But I'm telling you, these people are evil. Baal. Some of you were shown in your dream. These people. So it's like you face this, you know, when we sleep, our spirit astro travels, okay? So you actually saw this, you faced it. Like you was literally like this in front of it. Do you remember people I told you about the dream I had and this thing? All I could hear was, it's really big. And the one that was underneath the table, it was the fire sign, shivering, scared under the table, whilst I'm facing this thing head on, but I'm not, you know. But that represents as well, it doesn't mean like, I mean, that could be that you know, attached to toxic people, drinking, drugs, okay? All right, and that's how you're bound, do you understand? But you've released yourself. And that also represents facing your demons, okay? It also means facing the demon. Like, I'm being deadly serious, okay? People just think, oh, it's only a dream. No, our bodies astral travel to different dimensions, okay? So you saw this in your dream. Okay? And you were shown what they were trying to offer you up to. There's a symbol. These people have kidnapped children, offered them up as sacrifices. Again, laying them on the table, and yeah, not only that, raping them, or they'll get a group of men to beat you up. So there could be, again, with the other cards I picked up with, you know, there's a body that's got bruises all over it. Let me find that. It maybe in this deck. Let me see. I don't think. Four of Swords. Yeah, and that's what I mean, that they'll go in a frenzy. It won't be just one, like, you know, once they've got you on the table, it won't be just a couple. Yeah, you'll have all of them around you, surrounding you, just like crazy, like, yeah, because they're demonic. They're not human. Have you not heard of these stories where people have like, you know, gone to fast food chains and then they're eating the burger and then they found a tooth in it? And then you've got the ones that are saying, oh, well, maybe it was you know, a pig tooth. No. Then they cut up the bodies, they put it in food, and you think, lovely burger. Yeah? And what they do then? Then they're making more money from it. Hmm? Then there's a facility that they maybe take the body parts to, or whatever they do, to do it like that, okay? Yeah, I saw a one when I was in Angel and Islington. I was talking to this guy. He says something about a big truck, tall like, I didn't, the guy said, come up to me. He said, yeah, there's a big truck. The truck's like a freezer. It's like the size of like a double-decker bus. And there's all human body parts in it. It's like a big freezer. Then as I went round, I looked. She come wearing a red dress, okay? It was really bright red. And she was just sitting there, staring at me. I just felt her, because my back was turned. And then I turned and I looked at her. And she had a little fluffy dog. Right, let me show you the other picture. Because they R.A.P.E. these girls. Then the group of men attack her, beat her up. And they're the divine ones that, you know, haven't woke up yet. Okay. Again, as I said, you know, some of these girls are young, a bit naive, and they'll use the ones that to act like they're friends. I mean, they'll take years doing this. Yeah? Trying to sacrifice you. There we go with the sirens. Some of them giving each other the heads up. Because some of them are corrupt. And we have criminals working in the justice system. Trust me. Not all, some. I'm just trying to find that card. So yeah, there's your friend, the water sign, yeah? The one that took you to the Rasta man's house. That she said, you know, they both liked you. He said they were, you know, they were friends, but you knew Divine Feminine. That they weren't friends at all. They were actually lovers. I mean, some of you already, they've used people to try to sacrifice you, and you shone a light on that as well. As I said, they will beat the girl up, and they've done this already. So there's a body hidden somewhere. See how her arms are black and blue? So they've beaten her, R.A.P.E.D'd her already. Okay? Because they hate the earth angels. They hate. See, people, when I mean they're evil, Yes.
I share patients. I called you earlier.
All right.
I'm going to, would you like me to change your appointment to a telephone one?
Yes, please.
So it doesn't go down as failed to attend, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, and so make sure that you're available tomorrow for the appointment. You know what time it is?
Uh, 10 or something?
So, yes, it's at 10 o'clock. So please ensure that you are available for the appointment, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay, so it's going to be, so they will call you between 10 and 10:30.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Okay, my, okay?
All right, thank you. Yeah. So as I said, you know, they will do a frenzy attack because these people, I'm telling you, they're not humans. All right. And then there's a group of men that think that a woman don't deserve to be a high priest or, you know, why is the divine, why is it that a woman's being chosen? Yeah. So a lot of these things, and I keep saying about, you know, body parts being found on shorelines and washed up. And you know how much these parts go for? Thousands of pounds. So yeah. So there's someone here already that they buried, okay? They've beaten up, attacked. Or this could have been one of them that was part of their group, the cult. And maybe they had to sacrifice her because playing around your energy, you just, you know, exposed it. Again, along the way, they've been doing magic around you, on you, over you, blah, 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 okay? Trying to bind you to this darkness and for you to be toxic, for them to say, look, she ain't who she says she is, or he ain't who he says she is, and you just remained calm, cool, collected because you know what they're doing, okay? Because you're hard work, someone may give you something, I don't know, okay? Again, there was, a Taurus that's on the outside of you now, external from you, okay? And, a Capricorn. A Scorpio, Aquarius. These could be either the energies that are aware of the illusions that have been casted over them, or they were part of this cult, or they were part of this group, and they too thought these people were their friends that they used to go out and party with, and they too are realising who people are that they call family, and they too are protecting their self. Okay, so again, you've got ones that have casted the illusions that are Taurus, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Scorpio, and you've got ones too that this has been done to. Because this is 4 corners: earth, fire, water, and air. So divine feminine, you may have come across a man that was a Taurus once, okay? And you cut the person off because you saw who he was. You may have had another friend that was a Capricorn. They could have been someone else that, was hoping you drugs and you saw who that person was. There could have been someone that was attached to a sibling of yours that was Aquarius from an area that you knew. And that could have been someone that was also on drugs and involved in this, okay? And they're also involved in a murder. There could be a Scorpio. Could be your mother, for some of you, that was in your family, okay? That offered you up for a sacrifice. Could have been from when you were a baby. They were like, don't worry, you'll get payment. So now you know why. Some of you know why. You know why where all the money was coming from when your mum was dressing up nice and receiving the home was starting to look better than what it used to, and you're like, okay. So if you had a Scorpio that was evil, and then you had a Taurus that grew up with a Scorpio that was evil, well, like mother, like daughter, isn't it? Okay? Because children learn this from their parents. So you could have had someone in the family trying to, in the past, trying to be methodical and reach out, and you've closed the cycle out with that person. You could have had 2 sisters. Well, that could have been your mother, and that's, you and your sister, and your mother favoured your sister over you, or nothing she'd done in the mother's eyes was wrong. And then there was something that was left for you, and she gave it to the other daughter, causing you loss, grief, betraying you. This is why over the years they're all trying to keep the secret from you. Virgo energy. Again, they sent a Virgo towards you, someone you got a child with, you nearly lost your life or whatever. You went through some type of domestic violence. Again, toxicity. Because these people are part of this cult. That's someone that you may not have known at the time, but you went in a new direction. You cut cords with this Virgo. This is someone else that is also part of this group. Those could be someone you've got a child with. Okay, your child could be like 17, 18, 19 now. Okay. And they tried to manipulate you with the child. The Virgo did. And when they said that, you were like, all right, okay, I'm done. See you later. Because they were working with a witch too. And they were like, yeah. They don't take them out for something to eat. Hopefully they'll come round and meet you on the birthday, and then they start drinking and we can do all this escapades again. Yeah. And then these are people that are connected to your family bloodline. People that, older sisters. And then there was a guy that lived there that was connected to your dad. And you're like, boy, all these people come from this one same area. In my case, Shepherd's Bush, Latimer Road, Labatt Grove. 5 of Swords. You were self-aware. Seven of Swords. You protected yourself, and you may have sneaked away or moved away from these people. You're not returning to this house. You may have been able to move away from a house, or maybe someone in that house thought you were still in there. Whatever. Yeah, they're all hiding in the darkness, in the shadows. Yeah, in a community that you used to come from, okay? Knight of Wands. Could be someone that's very passionate about you. This could be someone that's been betrayed as well. And now their eyes are open. Because different people everywhere go through this, okay? And they'll try to cast you the illusion like, no, don't trust that person. So you've got your boundaries up, okay? But they could be rushing away from their family. This could be someone else that knows, their family want to keep them stuck in this cycle. And then they got to find out their mum or their sister was working with the karmic. And now someone here could be annoyed because they now know the truth. Or they know the truth about the karmic that they got with. Okay? But this person rushed to get with that karmic. Someone may have lost their life because, someone got really angry at someone for doing this because they've lost their divine counterpart, their lovers. They should have come together. And the snake was the third party, which was this karmic. So yeah, this Sagittarius energy, reality shattered, leadership, vision, passion, associated with entrepreneurial spirit, taking charge. So you could be taking charge, confident, ambitious. You could be someone that inspires others. Or there could be a Sagittarius that's really angry, that you're inspiring others. Look at the fist, look at the face, they're really angry. Their reality is shattered. So this could have been a sister in your family, okay? Or a dad or whatever. Could have been a dad that used to beat you and hit you, okay? Whoever, something to do with Sagittarius. Maybe the people that was part of this group that you know, handed you over as a sacrifice, people have passed away. Ace of Cups, someone really loves you. Someone's crying. Your cup overflows. Someone loves you. There's a Capricorn here, whether it's in your family or someone that another earth sign introduced you to or was in cahoots with. Again, some of you, you're not talking to none of these people. 3 of Wands. Someone's watching you from a distance. You're not going to get back with people that, you know, in your past, let's just say, was easily influenced or took another path and turned their back on you because they were passionate about someone else, and you know, they thought that family or they had money and they turned their back on you, and you were like, all right, okay, well, take care. Them energies that you're not allowing them to come back around towards you. It's too late. It's finished. This masculine is no longer. I don't know if they healed, have they changed. That's the thing. You've got to ask yourself. You know, this could be someone that runs at the slightest, you know, thing. They run off. Like they don't face or have an adult conversation, or if you put your foot down and say, no, I'm not about to deal with that. Yeah, they will run the other way. Take a leap of faith and go in a different direction. Like, do you really want someone like that in your life? You want a man, you don't want like a boy that's in a man's body. Alright, thanks for joining me. Bye. If you feel called to donate, you'll find my details in the description box down below. If you'd like a private reading, again, you can send me an email. Thank you, bye.